Hey everyone, welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a truly fascinating, heartfelt lecture from 1989. Actually, to be precise, this was delivered at the Tokyo Bay NK Hall just days after the fall of the Berlin Wall. The speaker uses that literal geopolitical earthquake as a backdrop to explore some massive concepts: love, the 100% truth of the afterlife, faith, and what it truly means to be free. Basically, we're looking at the ultimate question: what exactly is infinite love?
Okay, here's our roadmap for this one. We're going to hit 5 key areas: walls versus connecting love, the struggle against disbelief, redefining faith and support, the gift of freedom, and finally, what is infinite love? Let's get right into it.
Section 1. Walls versus connecting love, tearing down the barriers.
So picture this. It's November 1989. The world is watching in absolute awe as East and West Germans embrace after decades of being separated by concrete and barbed wire. Witnessing this, the speaker drew a really profound metaphor. He defined love at its absolute core as the power to connect.
You see, this highlights a tug-of-war that happens inside every single one of us. On one hand, you've got the power that excludes. This is when we build invisible walls in our hearts based on prejudice or ideology, literally severing our bonds with others. But on the flip side, we have the power that connects, that essence of love that actively tears down those psychological walls. Every single day, we're basically choosing which of these two forces to feed.
Moving on to Section 2, the struggle against disbelief, overcoming human arrogance.
So why are those internal walls so incredibly hard to knock down? Well, the speaker points out that modern society is dealing with a major roadblock, a deep-seated disbelief in the spiritual world. And it's not just a casual skepticism. At its root, it's actually human arrogance. It's this conceited idea that, hey, if we can't measure it with our own intellect or see it with our own eyes, there's no way it exists. That intellectual arrogance acts like a massive brick wall blocking out the reality of the spiritual realm.
And honestly, hollowed-out modern religions get completely called out here too. I mean, think about it for a second. Did Buddha really come down just to teach us the proper etiquette for a funeral? Of course not. Over time, institutions have kind of reduced these grand, miraculous teachings to mere rituals. But the original teachings from figures like Buddha or Jesus were profound truths about the human condition and how we are supposed to live, right here, right now.
Which brings us to Section 3, redefining faith and support, the invisible cheerleaders.
Okay, so how do we fix this? The lecture proposes a total redefinition of faith. We need to stop thinking of faith as blindly clinging to some outdated dogma. Instead, faith is defined as a deep, humble awareness. It's knowing, really knowing that we are continuously sustained and supported by an invisible world. It's a complete mindset shift from arrogance to pure gratitude.
To wrap your head around this, just look around the room you're in right now. Think about the device you're watching this on, or even the clothes you're wearing. We literally don't survive a single day entirely on our own. We rely on the invisible labor of thousands of people we'll never even meet: architects, engineers, tailors. And this everyday physical interdependence, it's just a mirror reflecting an even deeper spiritual reality.
Just like we're supported by all those invisible earthly hands, we are also supported by invisible spiritual beings. The speaker describes our ancestors and guiding spirits as essentially invisible cheerleaders. They exist right there in the heavenly realm, cheering us on when we win and crying with us when we lose. It's exactly the way a loving parent watches over a child, showering them with unconditional love, even if the child is totally oblivious to it.
All right, Section 4, the gift of freedom, responsibility, and reflection.
So, if we have all this amazing, invisible support, how are we supposed to navigate life? Well, through the ultimate double-edged sword, the gift of freedom. It works in this brilliant, continuous cycle. Step 1, we're granted absolute freedom. Step 2, because we are free, we are definitely going to make mistakes. But then comes the magic of Step 3, self-reflection. By honestly reflecting on our errors, we get to wipe the slate clean, which leads perfectly into Step 4, starting over. We literally get to fail, learn, and try again as many times as it takes.
Now, make no mistake, freedom is the absolute greatest happiness bestowed upon humanity. Without it, we'd just be programmed robots. But that incredible gift inherently demands responsibility. We have a strict obligation to govern our own minds, own up to our mistakes, and actively pursue true happiness. Freedom without self-control? Yeah, that just leads to a lot of chaos and pain.
And finally, Section 5, what is infinite love?
the ultimate system.
So, here we are at the big finale. After breaking down the psychological walls that divide us, the arrogant disbelief that blinds us, the invisible cheerleader supporting us, and the heavy, beautiful gift of human freedom, what is the final verdict? What exactly is infinite love?
The core takeaway here is a real game changer. God's infinite love isn't just some warm, fuzzy emotion. It's actually a highly resilient, perfectly designed system. It's a system that grants us the absolute dignity of freedom, fully knowing that we're going to stumble. But it beautifully balances that risk with a universal safety net, the ability to reflect, recover, and receive endless second chances. It's literally the ultimate environment designed for human growth.
And that wraps up our journey for today. From the crumbling of the Berlin Wall to tearing down the walls of our own arrogance, this lecture paints a stunning picture of a deeply interconnected, endlessly forgiving universe. I really hope this explainer sparked some curiosity for you and offered a fresh lens on what faith and love actually mean in practice. So, I want to leave you with this final thought as you go about your day. If your freedom brings the strict obligation to pursue true happiness, how are you going to exercise your freedom today? Thanks for tuning in to The Explainer, and we'll see you next time.